Hello, it's VVaypoint and welcome back to PLAYtheGAMEcentral. Now today I have you a video on Shangri-La and Moon. And first off, I want just to say that these maps are just like the complete opposites of each other. Like, Shangri-La is really tight and easy to get cornered in map, and it's really unpredictable with the random zombies. And Moon, on the other hand, is really open, really predictable, and pretty fucking easy compared to Shangri-La. And yes, from that I also want you to notice that the footage I got you is not high rounds on Shangri-La, because I could not do it. For some reason I cannot gather myself to get high rounds on Shangri-La right now. I haven't been playing in a pretty long while, so my knowledge isn't gone yet still, but it's just the general feel of the game is a little dried off, so I kinda cannot handle Shangri-La, because you have to be aware every second of the map. You just cannot let anything random fuck you up. And I'm not in the mood for trying this out for the 20th time, so you are just going to have to deal with this. Now, starting off in Shangri-La, the first thing you notice, the spawn area you're in is not half bad. It's pretty open and there are only 4 windows and 2 doors. So this is why later on you should be coming back and use this spot for training around the zombies, because it's the most open place here with least of zombie spawns, so that is highly recommended. But when you spawn into the map, round 1 will begin, and first of all you should select which way you want to go. Now personally, if you really want to go for the really high round stuff, I would always go through the mud pit area, even though that's highly dangerous and highly risky. But when you go through that side, it will affect your starting training position in a way so that there's a certain corner that you can actually loop around next to the another door more safely, because that area is more open than the area next to the door, next to the mud pit, so I would highly recommend going that way if you really want to go for the high rounds. But in general, Shangri-La doesn't give a fuck, so whichever route you take, it doesn't really matter that much. So if you really feel like it, you could just go by the box. Wherever the light shows you to go, just go there. And besides 2 box locations that can be, which would be the waterfall and the cave under the second area, there are also random perks. Speed Cola and Juggernog will always be in the next 2 rooms connected to the starting area. They're just random, whichever is in whichever side. And the rest of the perks are cycling. There are 4 other perks in this map, if I'm correct, and there are 2 in each side of the map, if you count the power and the starting room as the middle of the map. So when you have decided how you want to go about it, first round, immediately start gathering points, immediately start rushing those points. Just try to shoot many zombies, don't kill them, because that will fuck you up so bad, and just hope that you won't get a nuke. But something really likely in this map is to get a max ammo in early rounds, so that's why it's okay to use all your ammo and just knife the zombies. And probably in round 2 or 3 you will already have full ammunition on your Colt, and in round 2, in the end of it, already start proceeding towards your random box location and try to get that ray gun, because honestly, even though I hate that gun, I don't like it. I don't know why, but it just, I don't like it at all. But in this map, it's the only really reliable way of killing zombies. And just try to get a ray gun, but also keep a good balance on your money so you won't run out. So don't spam the box like 10 times and make it disappear, rather get 2 good weapons, get Jug, and then try again. And then go for a PhD flopper naturally. And after you have a PhD flopper and Juggernog and decent weapons, then you just go back to the spawn area and train the area there. Then you go back to the box and you try to grab yourself the ray gun. If you can't get it, then go back to the area and train the zombies. And whenever you feel like it, you could grab something like Stamina Up or Speed Cola. The rest of the perks are really not necessary, and if you want perks, just use a max ammo, because when max ammo spawn, you can use the monkeys to get perks from them. But this only applies to max ammos, not another drops that are changed into max ammos, only natural max ammos. And the way you do this is just follow the monkey that grabbed your max ammo, and when the perk battle shows up, shoot it really fast. It's really hard to get, but you can do it, and then you will get a random perk. Also with the monkeys, whenever you get power-ups, be really aware that where the monkey is coming from, because when you kill it, it gives a lot of money, especially if the drop was double points, which is highly likely. So you will get 500 if you don't have double points, and 1000 if you have double points. So that's a lot from one single monkey. Just kill it before it gets you, and easy. So yeah, after you have got yourself the ray gun and you have actually spinned the box like a dozen of times, if you don't have the baby maker, the I don't know how to fucking say that name. JGB? I don't know. The name is so odd, I don't have an idea how to say it. But the point is, if you haven't got that, you probably shouldn't even bother upgrading the second gun. Just use the ray gun and the high likeliness of max ammos in this map and train the starting area. And don't even pack a punch the ray gun immediately, just conserve ammo when possible. And when you have to, then you pack a punch it. And as I said, this map is really random, so you might die for no reason because a flamer spawned under you or a shrieker ran just past your route so you couldn't take it, and that's GG, you're done. But you just have to learn to deal with those without panicking, and you can actually manage them always. The flamers are tough ones though, I admit that. After pack-a-punching the ray gun, there is pretty much nothing to the map. You can just try to get the whatever baby maker gun and pack-a-punch that, but besides that there is pretty much nothing you can do. You just run around, and you can get high runs that way, but it's not really reliable because the map is hard. Next up, Moon. In Moon you spawn in area 51, natural. And yeah, when you start up in this map, yeah, I know I called it cheating, but always go for Juggernaut first. So if you have speed cola, just restart, because we are not wasting time in here. Yeah, I know the random element I told you and all that shit, but it's just really doesn't matter that much. I just prefer to get it first. You can go without it, but it's just so much simpler. It doesn't affect the strategy in much ways, but it just makes it safer. So you don't have to restart your game. And in here, zombies spawn on a steady rate, and when you spawn, you should immediately go to the mud pit in front of you and start knifing all the zombies. Because if you knife them as fast as you can, they will actually spawn in the same location, and you can spawn camp them and get a lot of points. And if they are not spawning there, just run to another mud pit, and if they are not spawning on the another mud pit, then run to the sides and try to kill off as many as you can before you hear the loud alarm sound go off. And then be a little careful. You should start gathering the zombies into a group, but don't go through the pack-a-punch gates, because going through that too early is a death sentence. Don't do it. Just try to run around the mud pit and gather them around. Then if a hellhound spawns, just knife it, because they will die of one single knife pretty much for the first 20 seconds, and after that they are still really weak and they even do less damage than the zombies, so you can pretty safely knife them. And when you have dealt with all the hellhounds and all the zombies are behind you, use your M1911 and shoot through the horde and through their heads to get maximum points, and after that grab yourself a Juggernaut and spam a few grenades and teleport out. That should be easy enough. And then you spawn on the moon. Now, when you start off here, you can actually see where the box is. When you look out of this window, there's a big crater in front of you. If the light is pointing there, it's in the power room. If it's pointing behind the crater, it's in the biodome. If it's pointing right to the crater, it's in the yard that you mainly use for the strategy later on. The ideal one being, of course, would be the power, because you always need to go through there. So when you start, just melee the zombies, prepare for windows, then round 2, watch out for the teleport little spaceman guy, because he will steal your perk that you just got, so that's really a big thing. Don't go through doors without checking, because he might grab you, because he's like that. Just the few 2 first rounds, just go normally, just try to get points, and then start opening whichever side. It doesn't really matter, I just prefer the tunnel 6 side I'm using here, and then proceed to the power room. If the box is there, grab it. If it's not, then you just should have grabbed an M14 right before you came there. Or if you haven't, you can still go back there, it's easy enough. And yeah, after that, there is pretty much nothing special you can do, just try to farm up points. And this area is pretty okay for it, but I would prefer to open a door by a door and to go forward and try to find the hacker device as soon as possible, because you can actually use that to open doors for pretty much free, only 200 points. But the trick with that is you have to leave a zombie that is not fast. So either a crawler or a walker. If it's running, you just go ahead and kill it. It's pretty impossible at that point. But the way you do that is just grab the hacker, go to the door and start pressing X, and you will have a long progress bar. And don't interrupt that, so naturally you should have taken the zombie far away from you. And you can use that pretty much endlessly. You can also hack the windows, so grab a few points from the windows and leave few hanging, and then you just hack the window and you get 100 points and it repairs it. And that should get you a lot of points and save a lot of points. So always, if you can use the hacker going through this area, you can pretty much in round 4 already be outside. And if the box is in the biodome, you just shouldn't even bother really. That place, I know people mainly use that area for their terrains, but I don't, and I prefer my way a lot more, because I just prefer the zero gravity, even though it can be dangerous. So naturally, from that you can already pretty much guess that we are going to the yard that can feature the mystery box. If it's there, just grab it. If it's not, it doesn't matter. But what you should definitely be grabbing is the AK-74U. Now the AK-74U in this map, it's nothing special. It has okay ammo, it has okay damage, okay rate of fire, and it's a wall weapon, so that's always good. But the trick about this is, you can easily gather up starting points with it when you come here. Just buy ammunition when you're out of it and just run the train around here. And then you just run the train a little bit more, and when you have gathered about 6000k cash, you can go grab your hacker device. Usually, actually, before you do that, you should be waiting that a place is going to be breached by the excavator, so you can actually utilize that hacker device when you have come back to the starting location and hack the excavators and get 1000 free points. But if not, if you're doing really good early and you want to already go, just grab the hacker, run outside, hack the AK-74U, and then go to the pit and teleport to Area 51. Now you should have about 3k money, and you should also have ammunition in your weapons before you do this. This is really important, because what you should do is farm up in here all your ammunition, use it, and try to get the 5k you need to pack-a-punch your AK-74U. And after that, just use your AK-74, if you want to farm up to pack-a-punch your second weapon, and then you use those to farm up to get your speed cola. Simple as that. After getting speed cola, just teleport back in the spawning location if you can, hack an excavator. If not, just run back to the AK-74U location. And now you probably already have 2 pack-a-punch weapons, 2 perks, and hacked AK-74U on the wall. This means infinite points and infinite rounds. From here there are a few ways you can go about this. First is to farm up and get yourself a lot of cash, and a lot of coins and a lot of points. Well, whichever you prefer to call them. But just spin around and farm, and spin around and farm, and get a lot of points. You always will get your money back if you hit at least half of your bullets in the zombies. You don't even have to kill any of them, you just have to hit them. The AK-74U is so cost efficient this way that you are already infinite rounds. You can go at least 40 rounds with this if you're patient enough. But of course that's not for all. So when you are done with this and you think you want to go faster, just spam the box till you get maybe the wave gun and maybe the ray gun, whichever you prefer, and then pack-a-punch that and grab 2 more perks, and yeah, you're set. That map is done. Yeah, well, that was it, I guess so. But yeah, leave a like if you enjoyed, and maybe learn something new.